Now, you know what that sound means. It means it's game time. Welcome back to the Golden Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. We are your GOATs, ready and excited to give you guys season 2 of everything we're about to present to you all.
Let's go.
Check it out. Check it out. Listen, it's been a minute since we gave you guys some GOAT game, and that's on us. We take the blame. But we want to make sure that you understand that we went to the drawing board, drew some plays up, did
Throw audible in there.
a Tom Brady on that thing, you know what I'm saying? And we're ready.
Oh
God, I couldn't think of what. I couldn't think of what it was.
That's fake, by the way. I still, by the way, go Broncos. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, but for sure though, man, we are so excited to give you guys the GOAT that I don't know, I'm just rambling now.
That is all good. Ready to bring it back to the people.
Yeah, man, I'm just excited. That's all.
I'm excited too, man. Season 2. What do you know? We back. Back and better than ever. They thought we wasn't going to come back, though. But we back. I promise you, I've heard it a lot in the streets. A lot of people were like, hey, man, what's going on with the Go To Podcast, man? We love the episodes. You guys got to come back. You guys got to come back. Honestly, we really came back for the people just because you guys asked for it. So we brought it back for you guys. For the people. That's right. Today, the people. Yeah. So today, we're going to tell you what to expect in episode 2, season 2, right? We're going to talk to you about some lessons we learned since we last recorded. And let's get into it. Mac Muzzle.
I'm like, he gave the intro. I mean, some, I don't even know I don't even know the script for it.
Let's got it right there on the whiteboard. To season 2.
See, check it out. See,
What
these
is
are some
to
things.
expect?
But look, these are some things that we learned, right? Last year we were a little all over the place. This year we got better systems, better things to be able to make sure that we flow better, right? I gave that as an example to say when you're not able to learn from your mistakes of the past, then you know the whole system kind of falls down, right? And this is just being humble and saying that, you know what, I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? You know what, I thought I had the best idea, but it wasn't the best. You know what I'm saying? It's great, but not the best. So you have to be humble enough to sit back, take other people's critiques, and be able to capitalize on that. So I said that to say, yeah, if this was last year, I'd be like, man, I don't even know what the script was. We talked about it, but damn, we ain't really, you know what I'm saying? Now we got a better system and be able to make sure that our episodes flow. So some other shit. Yeah, I fucked up. That was me.
Team effort. Was life without lessons, you know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, show that twice. Yeah. So, this season, what can our viewers expect, right? We want to focus more on giving them value and giving them GOAT nuggets that they can take away and use in their life to, you know, elevate and become the GOAT version of themselves.
That's nasty as hell, bro. People eat chicken nuggets. GOAT nuggets.
Have you ever tried it, though? They don't nuggets till you try it.
Bro, probably
not until you try it.
Bro probably has. He travels all over the world eating everything.
Ooh, Jerry, Jerry had it.
Bro, I see this story, man. He was eating out of a man's hand, bro. I'm like, Jerry, I don't care what time it is. Built almost and handed it to him. He was like, oh.
Did you ask him if he washed his hands for him? I can't defend myself. I'm laughing too hard.
I'm sorry.
I'm not sure this is true. They traveling on my little world tour. It's been a good time, but we back now.
That's something, man. I want to. So the reason why we had to take a step back because we wanted to make sure we were able to give you guys GOAT information, right? And that's to be able to do all things great in life. And what do people want in life? They want money, they want to travel, they want great relationships, and certain things I don't even have all myself, right? But when it comes to traveling, I look to somebody that has that type of experience, right? I would look to a guy that lived over in Germany, Lee Heim. I would look to my boy Jeb has been all over the world, you know what I'm saying, on how to be able to use credit card.
I'm in the UK, bro. I lived in the UK, bro.
Oh, my bad, man.
Very, very posh. There was Captain Astronomy, bro.
Bro.
I never
Is that where you got posh from, bro?
Posh, bro.
Yeah, I'm the same thing. The posh in my phone, bro. I'm telling you, this dude says this shit with everything. He doesn't say amen after grace. He said in posh.
Never heard the word posh until I had to started saying it. That's funny, though. But yeah, man. What do you guys want to talk about?
I was going to talk about, like, how to be a GOAT at traveling, bro. I just was finna throw it in your court, bro, because I'm still learning a lot of the game from you. The way you was telling me how you leverage a lot of your credit card benefits to be able to access a lot of the advantages, right, from a cost analysis to be able to travel the way that you travel. You know what I'm saying? Me, I got say, well, find the cheapest deal, hit up Spirit, never again. Hit up Frontier, definitely never again.
Never again.
You know what I'm saying? To try to make things happen. The boy Jeremy be like, oh yeah, I had this credit card with the points here, use them for the points there. Go here, fly there. I'd be like, yo, I don't even know.
Yeah, so that's the move. That's the move. So yeah, I nerded out for a few years on the credit card and learned how to, use the money you're spending already to generate points, right? So you get these sign-up bonuses with the credit cards and you generate points. And those points can be used for hotels, for flights, for whatever. Mm-hmm. So, a lot of the travel, I travel a lot and I love to travel. So, but a lot of it is free. It's money that I'd be spending on, my gas or groceries or stuff like that, basic expenses that you have. But instead of putting it on a debit card or using cash, you use a credit card. Mm-hmm. And you'd be responsible with that credit card and you don't accrue interest, right? Pay it off right away. And then,
I don't say that again. I don't think a lot of people understand that, bro. Like, if you're going to use this type of hack with credit cards, the one thing he said that you got to, a goat will hear it, was be responsible for it, right? And the second thing he said was don't accrue interest. Do not pay more than what it actually costs. That means don't buy it unless you have the money to pay for it, right? So if I'm understanding this correctly, bro, so if you got the gas, you'll put it on your credit card, but that doesn't mean you don't have the cash. You'll put it on a credit card and immediately put that to your, take it from your debit to pay it off.
Exactly.
Right? So you still reap the benefits of the points, but you're not paying more than what you pay for in gas because of the interest rates.
Exactly.
So that's the technique.
Exactly.
And not a lot of people understand that.
Yeah. So to go more in that is, it's a game, right? It's a game between you and the banks. The banks are betting on you being irresponsible and saying, oh, I got a 10,000 balance, I'm gonna run it up. And then I'll pay it off over time. Mm-hmm. But doing that and paying interest, you're going to pay $15,000 or $20,000 just in interest, right? And so if you pay it off right away, you win because the game you're trying to play is how can I get the most points or rewards out of this bank without paying interest?
Right.
And so that's the game.
I feel like the biggest change of mindset that you have to have is not so much focusing on the amount that you're allotted. Because I know a lot of people would be like, oh man, I only got $5,000 allotted to me, or I got 26,000. I remember I was going through a blog because I was looking up some benefits for this card, and now you can use the points to be able to use for third-party vendors, right? So you can maximize your points. That's another thing that you guys can do is by booking through the credit card issuer and actually using those points on their site, so you can double fold on your points and even get more back than you originally were going to get. But I remember just seeing so many people like, man, I can't believe that I only got 26,000 allotted to me. I'm like, what do you need? That's true, bro. Honestly, the way I do it, bro, is that like when I have a credit card, is that first of all, I don't use my debit card as much to where I forgot the PIN to the thing. So what I do is that I always credit debit, then I always pay it off either weekly or monthly, depending on which the credit card is. Some credit cards will allow you to pay off the interest statement, so that way you don't accumulate interest for that statement. You'll still have a little balance left over, just in case if you fumble the bag and you didn't really have that much cash that month. That way you can not have to pay the whole thing, but you can at least pay the interest balance so you don't share interest.
I think that's kind of backwards.
Yeah.
That I don't want.
Yeah,
that's what you don't want to do.
So to clarify, man, that's working backwards, bro. Because again, like we said, don't buy anything that you can't afford.
Exactly.
Right. Like if I'm gonna kind of go the Dave Ramsey route, Dave Ramsey says no to credit cards.
Yeah.
Like, no them up. Fuck credit cards. Fuck credit card companies. You don't buy anything that you actually can't afford, and you can't afford it if you don't have it in your debit. You get what I'm saying? So, but on the flip side of that, you still, to Jeremy's point, you're playing a betting game against the bank. Get the rewards, you know what I'm saying? And even get the same rewards, because most people don't know that through your credit card app or through your login or whatever, there'll be like a certain section where you can find bonus rewards for like an extra 5% off on gas, an extra 10% off on Adidas, or flowers, or some other website that you shop at, right? You can go through your actual credit card company's website or through your banking website and access those added rewards.
I just heard one of the cameras just went off.
They did.
What was it?
I think it was one. We might be on one of the, I don't really know which one it is.
That one cut off. I heard it.
But it's
if you want to, we keep going. Yeah.
First time out.
All right, y'all, we back in action. But
Hold on.
got let the big Mark, big Marky Mark get situated. But yeah, I mean, speaking back to what you were saying, it's like, you know, I was giving that out as like a possibility.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you really want to be financially stable, you want to eliminate all those types of possibilities, because that's going to drive you down a rabbit hole to where you think that you can start getting away with stuff, and then eventually it's going to catch up to you.
Exactly.
So I definitely agree. Exactly what he was saying is that like that's like going backwards, and like what Dave Ramsey was saying is like that's for people who can't control themselves.
Exactly.
If you can't control yourself, forget the bonus points, forget the traveling, forget all that other stuff. Just stick with trying to get yourself stable financially. Yeah. And then maybe in the future, where you're actually stable and you're able to keep up with your credit cards, then that's when you can possibly, you know, start doing the whole bonus points and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. So what you were saying about, okay, your bank will allow you to pay just the interest. Mm-hmm. You don't want to do that. You want to be able to pay the full bill.
Right.
You want to be able to pay it all. Like if I don't got $500 in my bank account, I can't put $500 on my credit card. Mm-hmm. So that's the mindset I go in on it.
Absolutely.
But a lot of people hate Dave Ramsey. You guys know that?
Yeah, actually, I've seen a lot of like it's like
I'm not like that's the serious thing when it comes to like the credit hack. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people use business credit to like start businesses, but like using the credit hack to be able to take the benefits from the bank or get your money back, right, in surplus is the way to go with that. You know what I'm saying? Spend money on credit, pay it immediately off. Like the one true thing that you got to stay true to yourself and remember is never buy anything that you can't afford. Yep. If it take you over 30 days, really over 2 weeks to pay off, it's not for you. Do not pay for that, because at some point you're going to accrue that interest at 28%. And matter of fact, interest rates are going up. Yep. So I've seen credit cards offering, you know, variable interest from 30 to 35% now, bro. So like you spend $1,000, 30% of that a month is $300. Yeah, you're gonna spend an extra $300 in interest if you don't pay it off with
to carry that balance.
That's huge for a lot of people.
Shooting yourself in the foot.
That's huge for a lot of people. So yeah, man, like to what Jeremy was saying, you know, spend money on gas, right? Because you got to get gas anyway. You was gonna use that out of your debit card. Mm-hmm. Get your groceries. You got to get that anyway because you was gonna get it out your debit card. Right. Things that you actually need to be able to, you know, reap the benefits of those bonuses.
Mm-hmm. You got to simplify the process. Yeah. To cut it straight, it's just like every time that you start splitting hairs, that's when complications start to happen. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're like, well, maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll wait. Maybe I'll pay it off on the next 15th of the month or whatever. Every time you split hairs, it's just like you're creating more possibilities of chaos. So it's just like eliminate all of that stuff and just make it as simple as possible.
Big bags.
So most people are fucking stupid.
Yeah. The biggest thing I was going to say is you got to know yourself.
Right.
And if you can't handle a credit card, maybe this strategy ain't for you.
This ain't for you, dog. Look, this ain't for you, dog.
Yeah. You know who you are.
You know who you are. Cut the credit card up. You can't afford it. We're trying to show up in front of people. Talk about, I'm popping bottles.
Trying to show up in front of people, man.
Give that card note, that car with the $600 car note up. Shit, goddamn it, you can't afford it because you keep putting that shit on credit and it's doing nothing but running it up. A lot of people spend years trying to eliminate their debt because now they want to buy a house. You know, so they want to use their money for something actual benefit.
People do it backwards.
You do it backwards, right? You know what I'm saying? People use their credit money to buy superficial things that they really can't afford instead of using that as leverage to be able to purchase things that's going to increase their cash flow. Right. That's on the business side. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Oh yeah, we bad. Yeah, we talking credit. We talking business. We talking all that. Just different forms of being a GOAT, right? And ways you can level up and become the best version of yourself. And then, like I said, it comes down to knowing yourself. And so you got to understand your habits and your shortcomings until, and you can't do what everyone else does.
No.
Yeah.
No, you got to start from the ground up. It's just like climbing a ladder. You can't just start in the middle of the ladder. You have to start at the bottom of the ladder with the first foot in the first hand on the ladder. And you got to go one by one, climbing up the ladder. Your homeboy might be all the way at the top, but it doesn't matter where your homeboy's at because eventually you can be there as well. Just like they say, this boxer has this many wins and this boxer has this. it's like it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, this person is winning and this person has already won. This person can eventually win as many as this person as well, but this person is exactly where they need to be at exactly at that time. Just like if we boil it down to bodybuilding, Mark has already got his pro card. He's already won Mr. USA. I am not a pro. I have been doing it longer than Mark, right? But that doesn't say that I can't eventually surpass what Mark has accomplished. And
so another thing we want to touch on this episode is lessons from last season. What was your guys' biggest takeaway from, the game we're giving to the people, lessons that we learned from putting a podcast together, right? We started a podcast from scratch. What did you guys learn?
I would say the biggest lesson that I feel like we learned is managerial. Just figuring out like who does what and how are we actually going to accomplish this? Because we started it off with basically going to a place where everything was already provided to us. Cameras, the roadcaster, all that type of stuff was already, presented to us, including, were you doing editing at the time too?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess he was doing editing still, but I would just say overall, just managerial, where we like didn't really understand, like you said earlier, how to delegate, like who was going to do what, and then what was a time frame that we needed it done by. We started to move in that direction slowly towards like the end of season 1, but then we actually stopped going to the studio, and we ran into a bunch of situations to where we were kind of just doing things on the fly, and then when we would do it that way, we ended up with not so nice results. To where Mark was like, "Fuck this, we're not posting this."
You straight up.
Right. You straight up. You gotta have that system down, right?
Yeah.
You gotta have the system down.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I feel like it was a good lesson, bro, just because simply, we didn't go with just trying to get content out there. We wanted to stick with quality. And then we ended up upgrading our cameras. Y'all ended up revamping part of your house for the podcast room. We ended up buying our own equipment, and now we're here.
That's right. What was your biggest takeaway?
My biggest takeaway, man, is really like, you can't give a fuck about what anybody even says or comments or think of you, right? Like, some of the comments from people in the past have been like, you guys are 3 intelligent individuals, right? You shouldn't use curse words or use vulgar language, or they seem to want to input their opinion on what they think our diction should be, or like how we should actually talk. However, we really shouldn't give a fuck about none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't put on this persona. Damn. But look, I can't put on this persona of who I'm not. You get what I'm saying? Like, I can only give you the true me of who I am, right? And that's the person that's presenting all this information on this camera, on this podcast to the world. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do it behind a mask, because I've done that for years in my workplace. And I've even discussed with you about that, Jeremy. Like, well, a lot of people, for black individuals as well, that once you get into corporate America, they kind of feel like they're out of place. Because for a while, like, it's always been like not a lot of African Americans or people of a minority that fits the scheme of someone in a position in corporate America. So like, even when I first started, I felt like I had to talk different, I had to present myself different, but I always felt uncomfortable in doing so because I knew I was hiding behind a mask. It wasn't that I wasn't intelligent or I didn't understand the process or the work that I needed to do. It was that I felt a way about the way that I would articulate the information to the other people in my space. You know what I'm saying? To where they would now look at me like, oh, you just another nigga. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm done trying to hide behind that. You feel me? Like, people that's going to watch this information that we're giving them, they're going to either resonate with it or they not. If not, you can tune into another podcast, but the real is the real. And that's just what it's got to be. You feel me?
100%. I understand that. So you talk about like code switching at work, right?
Yeah.
So you not only have to be an engineer, but you have to also think about, how do I say this the right way?
Right.
So it makes your job that much harder.
It makes it so much harder because then I'll get the stuttering.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Trying to find the right way to say a word, you know what I'm saying? That'll come off as harsh. But this is, what do you think? But like, seriously, you know what I'm saying? Then you get the stuttering, and as you get in the stuttering, now you're really starting to feel self-conscious about your presentation, the way that you are at work. You get what I'm saying? Like, but when I tell you, bro, I'm over that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was even telling you, Jeremy, I don't really connect with a lot of individuals that I've worked with in the past, and I'm not going to say them names, I'm not going to drop my company or anything. It just was because I had a good friend of mine that I worked with. He even told me he was a white guy. He told me like, yo, you know, it's obvious when you code switch because it's obvious. You know what I'm saying? Like people that know you and your mannerisms when you code switch, it's like a big slap in the face. Like, what are you doing?
Like a red alarm going on.
Huge red flag, a huge alarm. He was like, yo, like everybody could tell. So it was at that moment I was thinking like, you know what? Why am I code switching? I'm obviously here in the same room as you. Like we're the same, you know. Doing the same.
You deserve to be there.
I deserve to be here. It's not because of the way I talk. It was my confidence that put me in this position, and I spoke confidently through the way that I am. You know what I'm saying, from my background. So that's just dropping gems. That's just like one of the biggest lessons that I learned from season 1. That's just something I want everybody at home to be able to understand that shit too. Like we're now going into a new time where that old scheme, the old traditions of how you should be, or who you should be, or what you should do with your life, college, job, house, family, retired, like that shit is over with, bro. That is the old tradition. The new tradition is be your fucking self, be who you want to be, and go get this money, right? In an untraditional way, which is now the new traditional path. You get what I'm saying? And the way to do that is first being authentic, being true to yourself, have your own morals, be honorable, and fucking work your fucking ass off and quit being lazy. You feel me? That's just what it's got to be. So those are some of the lessons of our season 1, bro. It was bigger than just how the fuck to put out a better podcast. It was more like, how can I take all those information and internalize that shit and become a better man for myself, for my family, for the people around me. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Like that's just was huge for me, bro. Like, cause, and this is me just opening up, bro. Like I've been feeling like over the past few weeks, but I just been down, man. I just been not being myself, especially ever since I gave up bodybuilder. You know what I'm saying? A little emotional for me, bro, but I just haven't felt like myself because that was an identity that I had to let go. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? For the greater good of who I want to be for the future. It's not easy to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? And even in doing so, bro, I kind of feel myself not finding the motivation within me to take another step, to go get the extra information, or take or read the books, or take the classes and shit, or like even go to the gym, the shit that I fell in love and built this shit from the jump, man. Like the lessons are, bro, you gotta find your motivation. You feel me? Like you gotta just be a better person, man. You can't just let slight moments in life, those small moments can have a huge impact, bro, and they can hold you back for a while, bro. And it's, as for a black man to never really speak on those type of things, it can be tough to do so when that's not your normal day-to-day practice. You feel me? But to do so, bro, that's a part of becoming a better person. So I just, my bad, man. Hey, y'all, now I was saying, hey, being real,
bro, being real enough because that's something that we all go through. You know what I'm saying? I went through the same stuff. Exactly what you're going through, exactly what I went through when I joined the military. I had to like really be somebody else. And to be honest with you, it kind of like formed me into the person I am today, which I'm thankful for, who the man I am today. But, you know, I kind of had to, you know, like mingle with the people because I was forced to.
Mm-hmm.
We got to do it subtle. We got to do a camera switch, okay? Gotta make sure Jay is on camera real quick. Anyways, you know what? I'm not gonna get into my story, but we run out of time, right?
No, I wanna, you know, commend both of you, you know, for opening up, you know, Mark opening up, kind of what you're going through, what you're battling through, because you're right. As a man, it's hard to share, you know, your emotions, what you're going through, and the people need to realize that that's real life. Emotions are real life. You did something for years, and to walk away from that is a huge shift. And to be able to share that with the people is big. And just to have a platform where you can share your emotions, that's a huge win for the Golden Podcast, right? It's like,
right.
A lot of people don't get the opportunity to voice how they feel, and they don't have a platform. And so for you to do that, it's big, and man, I'm glad we're here for you.
Hey, he really is like, shut your bitch ass.
Nah, I feel like that's an episode in itself, to be honest with you. A man with emotions.
Man with emotions, man. How to be a goat of your own emotions, because, bro, look, I could talk the whole...
Let's save it for the next episode, man. Let's save it. We don't say that for the next episode.
Bro,
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Be a man, suck it up thing is real.
It is real.
Man, then it is find a soft spot that you just don't know how to.
We gonna let them know.
You just be like, why am I crying? But I'm not hurt. Why am I crying?
Exactly.
Yeah, bro, that shit hard.
It's true, bro.
We got ours too, bro.
Nah,
We got ours too.
Now we'll wrap it up.
But yeah, you know, we're gonna say that for the next episode. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Goated Podcast. Welcome to season 2.
Yes, sir.
We are now changing the game, and we are gonna teach you on how to be goated in your own lanes of life. So peace, like, subscribe, share it to your partners, and we'll see you guys later. All right, peace.
Peace.